So many incredible things happen with my art. And I'm so happy to share my work every day with so many people.
Romero Britto é brasileiro de
Celebrated Brazilian artist Romero Britto went on display.
Romero Britto has been featured in Forbes' Absolute Britto. This guy, he's famous. Everybody knows him. He's from South Florida.
Hi, my name is Romero Britto. I live in Miami for the past 27 years. I grew up in Recife, the northern city of Brazil, and on the coast. It reminds me a lot of Miami. And I used to see the beach every day because going to school, I could go on the bus and I could see it from the whole coast, going from kind of close to where I live all the way downtown. You know, I have like 6 brothers and 2 sisters, so I was the youngest one. And the house was always full of pets, like dogs, chicken, and one of my brothers wanted to have a horse, and you know, it was kind of really chaotic. I was very quiet, actually. I was very quiet, and you know, I think, you know, I don't know why, but I was very quiet. And when I think back, you know, today, because I meet so many people, I had to talk to so many people every day, so it's pretty different. But I do remember a moment when I was going to a very special high school. I got a scholarship to go to one of the best schools in my town, and the supervisor came to me and said, look, you gotta get out of class, because there was like breaks. You gotta get out of class, you gotta connect to your classmates, because otherwise, if you can stay here, you're gonna stay just so much thinking about yourself, and it's not a good thing. And he actually given this analogy, this kind of metaphor about the sunflower, that the sunflower keep moving around the sun, and all of a sudden you keep like by yourself, and then go like this and start looking down, and it was kind of something really interesting. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to be like that. And I started, you know, pushing myself to be, you know, more outgoing and, you know, talk to people, and, you know, and here we are. It was like a collage of stamps that I took from my mother's letters, and I did like a bouquet of flowers with orange in the stamps. It was like, and I tried to sell to my teacher. She didn't want it to buy, and then my neighbor said, "I'll buy it." So I sold to my neighbor. I was so excited about that. It was great. So many times I couldn't believe what I was doing, because that's happened a lot. You know, when you doing something, you're telling a story about your life, and then so much you can, you know, people can tell a lot about what you do if somebody really have an understanding about the art and about, you know, people. So yeah, many times I was kind of, you know, looking for courage, you know, for me to keep it going, keep doing my art, you know, especially because when you do paintings, or, you know, it's out there, you know, and people criticize you, and you have to listen to that. You have to be pretty strong and believe in what you do, and don't worry about what people say, you know, and just listen to the most, you know, pay attention to the most positive side of it, you know, people that are very supportive of you. Because I've been very lucky in a way, because there's a lot of people that understand and kind of get what I'm doing.
Knowing, you know, where he came from and the humble beginnings, where he grew up in an area where art wasn't possible for someone, you know, growing up in a very, you know, small northern town in Brazil, that he thinks that that should be possible for everyone. My name's Alina Shriver, and I work with Romero Britto, and I've worked with him for the past 18 years.
She's the muse in here. Oh, oh, my best friend and muse. She's the best.
He's really charming. He's just really engaging. He understands people. It's intuitive. It's not like some school he went to, or, you know, somebody told him how to do it. That's not, you know, his connection to people is really natural.
I always thought it was going to be like more like a hobby for me, you know. I wanted to be a diplomat. I wanted to be an ambassador of Brazil. I always wanted to travel the world, and so that dream, took me to places such as going to the army because I wanted to create a story for myself, and I went to law school, but I ended up not finishing law school because when I was there is when I realized I was so miserable going to law school, and I kind of started thinking more about my art as something that I could do something out of it, and that's when I quit law school and I quit the idea of living in Brazil, and I said I want to venture the world. I want to see what's going to happen. I love Miami Beach. Miami Beach has so much character, and the sun, the beach, the people coming from around the world. The energy is really high there, really amazing energy because people come to Miami Beach with the spirit of celebration. It's wonderful to know that the city that I live, that I love, people are very supportive of my work. There's incredible people in this community here that support my art. They support the arts in general.
For the rebirth of Lincoln Road is Romero, Britto. Everyone who owns real estate on this street is very happy.
I was so caught up with my everyday dynamic, my everyday concerns, doing paintings, traveling and this and that. And you never know, it was like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20. It was like, I can't believe that. It just like went so fast.
You represent so much to the community, but you also happen to be one of my very close friends. And so because of that, we were able to proclaim today Romero Britto.
20 years on that place, and I had great memories. I did so many paintings in that building. When Lincoln Road was like nothing, it was cracked. The street was cracked. There was nothing there is today there. People thought I was crazy actually when I went to there. So Michelle, say hello here.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hi. So a long time ago, this room in here actually was the frame shop. It was really small a long time ago. So this building here is really special for me because I spent here 20 years, painting, dreaming about so many things. And
Your studio was here before, too.
My studio used to be here upstairs, I'll show you. Yeah. So now we have all this kind of plush animal here, this monkey here, as you can see.
Are you Britto?
Yes, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Hi.
Love your
Nice
stuff.
to meet you as well.
Multiple pieces of yours hanging in our house.
You do? Where you live?
Weston.
Weston, so
Weston.
nice, thank you.
Your
Very
stuff
much
is
for your support.
fantastic.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
They're from Brazil. They're from Rio de Janeiro. Yeah. Oh, claro, tiro com você. Prazer, não, que isso.
When I got here 20 years ago, we used to open the gallery Tuesday to Saturday. Traditional gallery hours were 9 to 5. And then when we started getting retailers like Victoria's Secret and The Gap, then we said maybe we should open on Mondays and maybe we should stay open till 8. And then maybe, as it turns out, when I got here, there was 5 of us here. And this space here didn't even exist. It belonged to the same landlord, but it was vacant.
And here's the main room of the gallery. And many, many years I spent over here walking through this room. The idea first was for me to come and work in this room, but then I started branching out all the way to the back.
So we ended up, taking space by space and growing the gallery. So that other side where most of the originals, we exhibit most of the originals, those used to be just maybe, if we were lucky, we had 8 pieces in there.
This one here I like very much. I did a whole series inspired in Star Wars.
Now we have, posters, limited edition prints, we have licensed product, we have collectibles. I mean, we have over 15,000 SKUs just in the gallery alone.
I'm so proud to be up here, standing here celebrating 20 years on Lincoln Road. So, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, my favorite artist in the world, and the most talented person I know, Romero Britto.
So I used to paint in this room in here. As you can see, you know, there was a point that was pretty big, but then became pretty small, and I couldn't paint anymore because I was so distracted by my staff, you know, by the curiosity of a lot of people wanted to see what I paint. But I have pictures here of how it looked before. Here. This used to be the walls here, all in bricks, and the floor used to be all in a wooden floor. A picture of my mother, a friend of mine, Professor Daniel Shapiro from Harvard. He's a genius. And this used to be my door behind, yellow with my clothes that I paint. I spent days and days and weeks in here, months and months, for hours and hours, so many hours. It was a lot to be here. My inspiration comes from all kind of sources, from, you know, things that I'm surrounded with, you know, like from people, family, from friends, to TV, magazine, newspaper, movies, all kind of things that, you know, I can see it and I like it and I put in my work, yeah. Sometimes I don't put in my work, but, you know, I have books of ideas that I started doing like more than 20 years ago. And these are collages of that I've done with my brushes. You know, actually those brushes in here I use in the pyramid, and I kept for many years. And last year I did a whole series of pieces, all, you know, using all kind of things that I keep in the studio because I always want to give a new life for something that is being used anymore. I'm a big fan of the royal family. There's a portrait there of Prince William and Kate Middleton. This bar here, look, isn't that cool? I like that, sparkling, shiny.
We've seen the growth of Romero Britto, and obviously we've seen the growth of Lincoln Road. So we're so excited that Romero had, you know, the vision and also really the guts to come to an area that really was like not a place to come to 20 years ago. But he saw it, and he saw what was happening, and he thought, you know, this is where, and not to mention that he loved the ceiling height in here because his dream was always to paint big and to dream big.
There was a sculpture that I did here in Miami, a 45 feet tall sculpture that took me like about 8 years. From the moment of the idea to the moment it was installed. Hello. Hey, how are you? Hi, how are you? I wanted to do so much. It's just a matter of time, and for myself to organize, you know, everything around my studio. I've been very lucky to have a great team. You know, I have 93 people that every day wake up in the morning, come to support me here in Miami. And he's a genius here. My own creation. That's Brandon. Say hello, Brandon.
Hello.
So what are you doing today?
Today I'm working on your social media.
You are? Oh, great, Brandon. Thank you so much. All right, so yeah, this is like, there's pictures here, they're everywhere. Picture. This was in Kensington Palace there. Oh, there's a picture here of the pyramid in Hyde Park in there, right there. This was the paint pot in London. Look at that. How big was that? This the one I was telling you for the King Tutankhamun exhibition. This is the financial department. Usually they don't come over here, but that's Stephanie here. And Flavio, he has been around for quite a while, and the whole team in here. And this piece in here is in Moscow Airport, this one there. It's a very big airport there. I usually tell young artists, I think it's so important for you to paint a lot and share your work with as many people as possible. You know, I say that all the time, and not worry about the financial part of it. Just paint and share your work with your friends, with your family, your community. Just share it with as many people as possible. And here is Elizabeth. She's amazing. One of the top staff in here. She's the operational person here. And I'm showing them around because they're doing a special. And Christopher here. And this picture here, actually, there's a great picture of my son and I and Prince Charles. He's laughing there. This was in Buckingham Palace. And we arrived in the palace in a taxi like this, which was great. It was a dinner that I went there. She take care of all my paintings. Actually, the paint about her. The only thing is that we end up selling the painting. But anyway, she was thrilled, right, Christine?
Yes.
It was a beautiful piece, yeah. So Elizabeth's like moving things around. This is Lyle here, and his team in here, member. And so yeah, this room is all for the prints, and we rearranged all the prints in those big shelves, and we're moving things around here. Hey, what are you putting here, Christopher?
I'm actually just preparing for you to
all
sign.
all the pieces. Oh wow. Well, yeah, I have to sign all this piece. You had to come back. Whoops. Yeah. And I have to sign those pieces in here as well. And all those teddy bears here. I have to work on that. But I'll come back later on. This Frank in here, he's been around for how long you working here with me?
13 years.
13 years, yes.
14 years.
Well, 14. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, Frank does all the frames of my work that goes everywhere. I mean, he does incredible frame. So, yeah, all the frames in there around the walls and here and they're put together one by one. So, like this one here, like this. There's more frame that you've done, Frank, in here that I can show. Oh, like this one here. Love it. Look at that. So great. I love this piece.
He picks all of the frames for his originals himself.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
You do, you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Here we go. Thank you. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. You're so kind and so supportive.
Awesome artist, awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, his art goes from the canvas all the way through the client's living room. And it's all touched by Romero.
Thank you. That's so wonderful. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for your support.
He's very grateful, and he knows that it's been a long road. And a lot of people see successful people, and they think, oh, you know, it happened overnight. But they don't see the struggles, and they don't see the story that, you know, what it took to get there. I always tease the new people that work for us. I always say, oh, you know, it's so easy. I'll see Romero and Alino traveling first class. But, you know, there were moments where Romero was, you know, working in the streets of Coconut Grove, selling his work, you know, on the street. So it's a really fantastic story. And so I'm always really grateful to write your coattails, Romero.
Many years ago, I used to sell my work in the streets of Miami, and I did on newspaper. So this is actually a print. It's not the original, but I did a lot of work on newspaper in the past. So this is a print now. Here is the last place where the artwork come over here, and they put in crates like those. Somebody that runs the shipping department, that Elizabeth supervised the whole operation, come over here and they do all the crates, and all this go to everywhere. So all the crates, all the packaging, everything is done right here. So the art doesn't move around. All the photography, everything is done here. This is an invitation actually of the party in Neverland. And I did a collage of that. It was so great. And there's some comments about Michael Jackson and everything there. Oh yeah, I love going to Neverland. I mean, Michael Jackson was unbelievable. You know, meeting Michael Jackson for the first time, and he invited me to come to see Neverland was spectacular. Actually, he did the party for me there in Neverland. It was really special, like a whole day, you know, event with my art all over the property. It was spectacular. So now here is my studio that we're gonna come in.
And this is very beautiful.
It's a beautiful piece. So this is actually all the colors that I have in here, and I designed this table here myself. But I have all kind of stuff that I collect in here. You can see on the top in there. This is like prototypes, things that I collect, things that my brushes, instead to throw away, I do collage on them, and and I give away sometimes to friends. But these are like all prototypes. All these are prototypes that I collect, and I have a warehouse with 5,000 square feet full of prototypes, full of stuff that I don't know what to do. Eventually, I'm gonna, when I build another studio, I'm gonna have all this out there so people can see, enjoy, things that I've done. I mean, I want to put my art in so many things, and I think it's important that you don't just get stuck into a canvas and a sculpture. A lot of artists, I mean, in the past, you had artists that were like involved in all kind of setup, like Da Vinci, he was not just a guy that he was producing sculptures or paintings. And that's one thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to bring my art in different scenarios, like when I did the open ceremony of the Super Bowl, it was fantastic to do something like that. Or get involved now with the World Cup Brazil, my art in a different scenario, or creating, painting the Bentley, the first concept car ever, doing the launch of the Mini Cooper North America, and I love cars, and I think cars have, changed the world. People move more because of cars, and they can plane. So I love cars, I love planes. And usually I stay here, and I keep working, and I have music all the time. If I don't work in there, I work in this table, and this table go up and down. This is my table, it's all messed up in here. And this was a pair of shoes of mine that I don't use anymore, so I did this. Look at that. I used to wear this, it used to be blue. I love this pair of shoes. And this one here I'm doing for the gala that represents me in Asia. It's for a businessman in Malaysia, right, Elena, the guy? Yeah, from Malaysia. Yeah. So I'm doing his portrait. I do a lot of portraits recently. So this, the red is, the flag of the country. So I've been very blessed to be able to meet so many people like that. So it's inspiring, to meet all kind of people, to meet, the royalties of the world, to meet former presidents and people that made a difference, scientists or whoever. I mean, it's always great, it's always fun. I always come back inspired and interesting, very intriguing. I want to find out how this person could do it. Be honored by this, the biggest event, cultural event that you have in Brazil is like you cannot dream of, especially when you're still alive. Carnival is like Brazil, it's like an homage not only from the school but the entire country. I did many trips to Rio de Janeiro just to meet with this group of people, and they come from this neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro. They all get together on weekends to dance and also to work on their customs. And everybody's very excited about watching this beautiful homage to my work that's so spectacular. Most of the time you only get an honor like that when we're gone or you're pretty old. So the Brazilian organization that they do the entire carnival in Brazil, and they opened in Rio de Janeiro, they decided that they wanted to honor me. So it was an entire school of samba that they did with 5,000 participants, all dressed up, inspired in my work. So there was like a period of my art being told like a story, and there was a samba, a music as well, and they spent the entire year coordinating this. So that day in Rio de Janeiro, they opened, there was more than 90,000 people on the boulevard. It's a special boulevard only for the carnival. And they are televised all over Brazil, so hundreds of millions of people in Brazil see that, and it was all over everywhere. I couldn't believe that. I was so nervous. I dried up, actually. My mouth I didn't have no saliva, actually. And I jumped a lot. My son was there with me. We had the best time. It was an amazing moment, actually, to be there.
I think only history will be able to write the story of Romero Britto, but certainly the pages are already there for him, and I think that the future holds whatever Romero Britto wants.
Oh, there's so many things that I wanted to do. I mean, I just feel like I'm the beginning of my career, but I have so many plans and ideas that, some I can share with you. Right now, I'm just taking care of things, though, that I have to make sure is done by this year, and I'm working also for next year. Listen, there's so much out there that I haven't done, so please be open, be ready, because there will be something to surprise you every day. So, that's the kind of person that I am. I'm very open to possibilities, and I don't limit myself. So, if somebody doesn't stop me, I'm not going to stop.